Alright guys, Tech Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. Let's see what the tech world has in store for us this week. First up, boot camps are getting the boot. Maybe a good thing? So bootcamp enrollment has come to a halt in recent years due to a lack of demand from employers for bootcamp grads. Basically what happened is there was very high software engineering demand, and this led to a high bootcamp demand as a lot of people wanted to become these coveted software engineers. And then this eventually led to oversaturation in the market and basically lower quality boot camps as a lot of cheap boot camps were popping up that were just trying to take people's money and build off of the hype. This eventually led to less qualified engineers due to these lower quality boot camps, which equals low software engineering demand from these boot camps. And now we're seeing the effects of that in enrollment. So what does this mean? Well, the good news, shitty boot camps will probably go out of business, while the top ones still could stay and produce talent. This eventually could lead to employers looking for bootcamp grads again if they see that talent is being produced from these boot camps. Bad news, boot camps are probably not worth it right now, and you should probably avoid them or go another avenue, maybe a more traditional avenue with a degree if you want to get into software engineering. Next up, MC2 exposes sensitive data. So MC2 is a platform for running secure analytics and machine learning on encrypted data. So they recently exposed a database with 2.2 terabytes of sensitive user data. This is mostly a cause of concern for quote-unquote high-value targets, which basically just means customer information or intellectual property, as well as IT infrastructure and network systems, or just important figures / rich people. So what does this mean? You guys should definitely be using a password manager if you're not already. Make sure to use different passwords besides the common ABC69420 that we all use, and use threat detection software. And if you see a prince in your inbox asking for money, don't fall for it. Next up, Broadcom versus AT&T legal fight over VMware. So Broadcom, which is a semiconductor manufacturing company, purchased a ton of VMware in 2023, after which they decided to switch to a subscription model instead of perpetual licenses. This basically pissed AT&T off and others, since they had already paid for the perpetual licenses and are now being asked to pay more for the subscriptions. This brings up the question, what obligations should Broadcom have towards perpetual license holders given the new subscription model? It also shows the trend towards subscription-based VMware with the uptick in virtualization and cloud computing needs. Next up, the AI versus AI race in audio detection software. So the audio deepfake detector, Deep4SNet, has been shown to be fooled by adversarial attacks, reducing the accuracy from 98.5% to an astonishingly low 0.08%. Deep4SNet essentially uses a convolutional neural network to detect deepfake audio. However, researchers have developed a different adversarial AI model using a similar technique to trick the detector. So essentially, the same way that they used the model to detect deepfake audio, they've also been able to use that same technique in order to fool the original Deep4SNet model. Researchers were able to mitigate the safety concerns using a speech-to-text API with the detector. However, this shows that AI security can go both ways, in protecting us, but also in cyber attacks. And that's it for this week's Tech Tuesday.